surprise you. I didn't want to tell anyone we were going to do a little pop-up show, but it's going to be about a half an hour with Kathy Beale as soon as she arrives, and we're doing a little tea leaf reading. Kathy Beale informed me that she also has a cup of destiny and wanted to do a tea leaf reading show. So the theme is going to be, we're going to ask the general question of what this Pluto going into Aquarius tomorrow, starting today really, what effect it will have on the United States. So thank you for all you who are popping in unexpectedly for our unexpected show. I told one person, I hope she didn't leak the info. Today the moon is in Taurus. Oh, that's nice. That's lovely. And here's Kathy now. Yippee, yippee! Everyone's so excited. Yippee, yippee!
Okay. Oh, hey. Well, this didn't work. Hold on a second. I tried to make it so I wouldn't be so. All right. How's this? Nope, still not good. Away. All right. Well, one more. Hold on.
Far away. Doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore?
Really? Seriously?
It's kind of true. So what we're going to do before you got here, I was just briefing people really briefly. We're doing a pop-up show because we think it's fun to just pop in unexpectedly. Surprise. It's January. It's kind of a doldrums sort of month. So that's why I'm wearing my festive, I don't know what you call these, lei. And we're going to read tea leaves. And we're going to read, you have the same, my festive. I hear myself.
I have it so I can see what's going on in the chat.
Okay, so you won't hear me, right? Okay.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, but I heard me. So
I know, because I turned my computer on, but I muted it.
Okay, cool. So we're going to read on how this Pluto going into Aquarius is going to affect the United States. But we're going to read the tea leaves. But you can add, I'll add a little. This is a psychic. Sure. This is divination, by the way. So it's like you can use your astrology and I can use my clairvoyance, and you're probably clairvoyant too. Everybody
really?
Is somewhat. And we have more in common than you might think. So what we're going to do is we're going to read on how this Pluto in Aquarius happening tomorrow is going to affect us all in the United States, according to the tea leaves. But we can add little bits and pieces from our own, area of expertise. The energy starting now, I just felt a little shift. Maybe you can just give us a little insight on that. Would that be something that we might feel?
Well, what we might be feeling is the Sun and Pluto meeting at the very last degree and very last minute of Capricorn. So they're meeting at the absolute furthest place in Capricorn that they can. And this is bringing up a lot of really purgative things for a bunch of people. I know a kind of disturbing number of people who ended up in the ER because of this. Yep. So things are building to a huge head. And there's like, I've been looking at it as there's some kind of baggage that needs to be dropped before we go into the door.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, is it a rare kind of thing? Because here's what I felt energetically. It's like the doldrums meet excitement. It's really weird. It's like you kind of pick what you're gonna feel, because I definitely feel like Capricornian energy, and then later this afternoon it was like, wait, it's different now. That kind of a feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm real sensitive to astrology. I don't think I ever told you that, but I'm always, if I check the astrology, it's like, that's exactly what was going on with me. So do you have your tea leaf? I think
I have them dumped already, and it's a mess.
Oh, okay. I thought that you were going to take a photograph of it.
No, I have. I'm gonna.
Look, we have matching teacups. So exciting. What kind of tea do you use?
It's just black English breakfast tea.
I use Earl Grey in bulk that I got from a store in Salem called Artemisia Botanicals.
I think there's one in the East Village in New York City.
By the same name?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought this was private, but maybe not.
Well, I mean, it could be complete coincidence that they have the same names, but
has that store been around for ages?
yes.
When I was a teenager, I knew of that store, and I think I used to order from them.
Ooh.
I've been a witchy witch for a long time, as have you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What I learned from me, it's different for everybody, but what I learned about the tea leaves for me is like, you think you're using not enough, and then you go, oh no, I need just a little tiny pinch. So I'm gonna do you tip over your cup and go clockwise 3 times?
Oh, not the 3 times part. I'll do that. I
And
will
there's
say that
different
I've done this
ways.
3 times now. The first time I did it, I got a giant crescent moon when I did I tried it yesterday.
Oh, you got a crescent, but there in this cup there is a moon.
I know, but at the bottom there was a giant crescent moon.
Oh, that's interesting. And just so everybody knows, the way that it works for me, I'll just talk about how it works for me, is divination is something you can do with really anything. My best friend in Nashville, one day I called her, it was a long time ago, I called her up and I was like, can you do a reading for me? And she was like, oh, I don't have my cards, but let me read this tree outside. So, and then she was like, has something to do with your roots. And it did. It had something to do with my roots. So you can read anything. And the reason I kind of jumped into doing the tea leaf readings on PNN was because, first of all, MSNBC just keeps saying it over and over. And all these people keep saying, well, if we could read the tea leaves. And I'm like, I can read the tea leaves. And all I do is it's kind of like similar to the tarot where you look at the card and something jumps out at you. And I use the books. I have this book. This is actually I don't even know when this was printed, and I'm not even sure where I got it, but it's all falling apart. Tea Leaf Reading by William Hewitt. And it's kind of like a dictionary or encyclopedia of the different symbols. And they're not all in here. So if there's a symbol that's not in here, you just kind of go with your gut. And also, the Cup of Destiny comes with a book.
Oh, my book must be somewhere. I'm not sure where it is.
Did you buy it used or something?
No, it was given to me. And I don't know. I mean, the book must be, I have a cabinet with a number of toys and divination devices in it that this is stored in, and I bet it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, you definitely want to find the book because it has all the symbols and what the symbols mean, and it tells you how to do the tea leaf reading. But like I said, it's always intuitive. It's whatever you feel. How long have you been doing this? Or is
this is I just dabble. I am not like you.
Yeah.
I just dabble.
Yeah, I'm just dabbling too. Like I said, I had the cup, and then I just decided to start reading the tea leaves a lot more often because of what they were saying on MSNBC. Mostly, I don't know if they say it in other places, but if we could read the tea leaves, and I'm like, I totally could do that.
Well, let me throw something weird in.
Go ahead.
All right. So when I first texted Annette with this crazy idea earlier this week, I said, how about tea for 2? Well, a little while ago, a neighbor of mine who's an Aquarian also and an avid puzzle worker told me that earlier this week he had recorded a Doris Day movie called Tea for 2. And he'd done a little research because there was something that was blurred out on the credits and found out that it sort of was based on No No Nanette, but there was some kind of argument or rights, and that had been blotted out. And then the next day, he was working a New York Times puzzle, and T for 2 came from No No Nanette, and the song. And so he was working a New York Times puzzle, and it said name of Broadway show that T for 2 came from. So Tea for 2 is kind of a theme of the week.
T for me and T for you. Is that how it goes? And da 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 and T for two. I don't know who wrote it, but it's a catchy
Me
little
neither.
tune. It's a catchy little tune.
It is.
So, do you want to?
Well,
Have you
not
seen anything?
surprisingly, I have a big mess on the glyph for it looks like Aquarius.
Well, that's not surprising.
But but it's on the upper row, so it might be a ribbon. It's in between the symbol of the spade and the horseshoe.
Now, last night, no, the night before, when I was reading tea leaves on PNN, I saw a big clump of tea leaves, just to go back to a former tea leaf reading. And I saw a big clump of tea leaves and Saturn. No, was it Saturn? And Jupiter.
Well, Jupiter's going to have a lot of activity this year.
Yeah, so that's what, just a couple days ago, there was a lot in Jupiter. I don't see anything in Jupiter right now, but just like an astrology chart, right? In an astrology chart, if there's an empty, some of the houses could be empty on somebody's chart, right?
Yeah, it could be that it doesn't have any natal energy, but other things will go through.
Right. So if there's nothing like on Jupiter, which took me forever to figure out, it took me forever to distinguish Jupiter from Saturn.
Jupiter
But
looks like a 4.
here's Jupiter, and there's just one little speck there. Where Saturn is, I have a Y. I have the letter Y.
See, I have a whole bunch more in mine because
Yeah.
I
That's
put too
why I
much.
was saying I had to learn that you just
Yeah,
need like a smidgen, like an
I know.
eighth of a teaspoon. But you have different tea also.
Right. I will tell you, I mean, that at one point it looked like there was a giant clump in the bottom, which I took to mean all of the residue that will be dumping.
Yep. Yep.
Shadow, shadow stuff.
Yep.
Mine has a lot in Venus. Okay, so
Yep.
this is Venus.
Yeah, I know where Venus is.
No,
Yep.
I'm showing people.
Yep.
So there's a little blip there. Let's see if I can put it down.
Your cup looks darker. Okay.
Well, it's because of the shadows, because of the lighting in here.
All right.
I have to move so many lights around to be able to do this.
I understand. Lighting is half the problem with doing videos.
So, so this to me looks like there is initially a dark cloud over a woman. I think we can say this is the feminine, but also what's going on with Fonnie Willis right now. I think is this.
Yeah. The misogyny.
The
Misogyny is just like really loud right now.
And then there's a big blot over Mercury here, a huge clump. And Mercury is a communication planet, so I think there's just when we first get into Pluto and Aquarius, there's going to be a tremendous amount of stuff that's obscuring what's really going on.
I often get that. That's consistent with what I see in the tea leaves on a regular basis. Also, the base of the cup, according to this, the base of the cup indicates future, a little further away events, or the end of the week, or even a few months ahead. So
and then up towards the rim.
Up towards the rim means the immediate, present, and future, perhaps in the next day or so. And that's kind of what we're reading on, because we're kind of reading on how Pluto and Aquarius will affect us in the United States. So if you see any hints there, I know that I have the letter Y really distinctly.
I don't know if I can get it so you can see it, but there's a glyph right here on top of a cup that's like a potion cup that looks like the glyph for Aquarius. So this is to me like we're being offered something. And I'll just tell everybody, there is a lot in the month of February that is going to acclimate us to what Pluto and Aquarius is all about. My forecast for this will be, it's going up on my Patreon tomorrow, Saturday, and it will be publicly available on my site and on YouTube on Monday. So February is kind of our orientation session for Pluto and Aquarius because, excuse me, um, Mercury, communication, Mars, how we make things happen, and Venus are all.
Wow. And that means, yeah, yeah, yeah,
So there's a crescent moon right. Am I doing it so you can see it?
yeah.
Uh,
You mean the moon
seems to be.
section, or you're seeing the tea leaves in the shape of
No,
a
there's
moon?
a moon section right here. Can I get
Yeah.
it so you can see it?
They might be able to see it. I'm on my teeny tiny phone, so it's hard for me to
Oh,
see.
okay. So there's a moon section right here. Oh, yeah, it's showing up. And it has a big blot on. It's a crescent moon with the points pointing to the future. There's a blot at the top, and there are a couple of blots going along the left. So that, and to me, the moon, because I'm throwing the astrology in it, the
Mm.
moon in the US chart is in Aquarius, and it represents our notion of the people, like who we are as a country, nation of nations. And there's something there that's kind of dogging that situation.
What do you think it is?
Um, yeah, we're always talking about
The loser?
MAGA stuff
Yeah,
going on.
yeah.
What are you seeing in yours? Let me continue
Well,
playing.
I have letters are literally, you read according to the tea leaf reading book. You just kind of go with what the letter means to you. So in Saturn, I have a Y. So a lot of things that happen, we're going to end up saying why. Why is this happening? There's a lot of analysis. There's a lot of, because big things are occurring that have Saturnian energy. And then I see like a heart. It's almost impossible to show you what I'm seeing from this vantage
Hmm.
point. But there's a heart. So if you can see the Y and you see the heart, it's right on where Saturn is. So when we start to ask why things are happening, understanding that Saturn is the disciplinarian. Saturn is kind of the school of hard knocks in a kind of a way, right? And so we'll be asking why, but the answer, since I see a heart next to it, is like we'll always find the answer is love.
Oh, I like that.
So, but the Saturn means it's not going to be like an easy learning experience. You know what I mean? Are you saying something else? It looks like you're pointing to something.
Well, the Saturn part of my chart, in my cup, the Saturn can be the government. Saturn can be rules. Saturn can be restrictions.
Yeah.
And so the first part of Pluto and Aquarius could have the Supreme Court issuing some rulings that make us go,
Why?
why?
Yeah, yeah, right. Why? And it makes sense when you look at it. If you're looking at Saturn kind of representing the Supreme Court, if you look at it from that perspective, then what they're doing currently, which is absolutely horrifying, what we're up against right now, and we'll talk about that. PNN is tonight and at 7 in a little bit. But when I'm with the Y and the heart, my interpretation of that it's in Saturn, in the Saturn part of the cup, is that we're going to be looking at the Supreme Court. Why are they a monarchy? And they're not doing the loving thing. And it's going to push us to push for doing the loving humanitarian thing. And we'll look into that more tonight. But I do think that the lessons that we learn are through hard things that happen.
There's a sort of a crescent moon in mine to the right and slightly above Saturn, which is kind of interesting. And then the glyph to the right, after you go past the star, is the sun,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks to me like there's a bird flying above the sun.
Does the bird have significance to you? Like, do you have a meaning for the bird?
I don't know. Could that be the eagle, or it could be a squirrel? Sorry, people.
No, this is the fun of reading
We're
tea
having
leaves. It's like,
fun.
which impression is stronger?
Actually, the squirrel is stronger. It has a nice big bushy tail, and it's heading toward the future.
Well,
So squirrels gather things.
that's industriousness, right?
Yeah, squirrels gather things.
That's consistent. I'm going to read to you about the moon. Oh, are you looking at the chat? Because I'm not.
I will look at the chat while you do that. I'll put this
Okay.
down. People can look at the
A
chat.
moon. Look closely. Is it a full moon or a circle?
It's a crescent, but it's a crescent on its side, so it's like bottom.
It means changes, and it means it says what kind of change and when will be revealed by pictures nearby and the position in the cup.
Squirrel.
So you think it's a squirrel?
Squirrel's a little further along, so it's like we have to walk up. There's a point of the star that is between the Saturn drawing and the sun drawing in this cup. And there's a bunch of stuff going up and down that. So I think we have things we have to climb up and climb down. And then we get to the industriousness, which I am looking at as Jupiter going into Gemini, which is in May.
Busy, big busyness. This is like, and just speaking of the squirrels, it feels to me like there will never be a moment where we can really stop. We're just going to have to go, and work. And since we're reading on this energy of, what the effect of Pluto going to Aquarius is going to have on the United States, there's not going to be a moment that we can really just rest on our laurels. We have to earn them. That's the kind of feeling that I get around all this kind of busy energy that we see.
And interestingly, if you look at the saucer has the zodiac signs around the outside.
Right.
And I see that, and I see that there's a lot underneath what they're showing for Aquarius. So it looks like there is a tremendous amount of, during Aquarius season, as they are now calling it, there's a lot of undercurrents and things, like there's a snake-like thing. Pisces has a little bit. So Pisces would be, I think this year the sun moves into Pisces on the 18th of February. There's something toward the end of it, just before spring, that looks like it's a massive dump, like a lot of stuff just getting flushed. And then Aries time is enormously active, which fits the astrology, just looking at what's in the cup. And it looks almost like something gets unleashed and goes up into the air like smoke.
Uh-oh. Well, Aries, do you know the thing about the month of April, the Aries energy, especially around when it changes to Taurus, there's a lot of tumult that has happened during that time, like around April 18th, 19th, around then. And I have like an underline under, is it? Yeah, under Aries. So there's an emphasis there.
Which fits with the eclipses. I want to also point out that in my saucer, most of the stuff is between Capricorn and Gemini, and then there really aren't any noticeable flecks pretty much until we get to Libra, which is when the eclipse, the one big eclipse in the fall is. And this matches the astrology. All the action is in the first half of the year, first 5 months of the year, and then we're playing it out.
Honestly, I feel like it's reflected in the tea leaves.
I know, isn't that funny?
It's going to be like giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. I just feel like it's this real galloping energy from now until probably when the sun hits Taurus around that time. The lines, I just want to say the lines mean, because I have a line underneath Aries, and a line means movement. The clearer and straighter the line, the more rewarding the trip will be. So that's what I have under the Aries symbol.
I have a big blob under the Aries symbol. I mean, directly on the left, and then a little bit. I think a lot of stuff's going to end up there. Oh, that's fascinating. There is a little configuration right above Aries that looks like the symbol for the North Node, which is where, and the North Node is in Aries. I mean, currently. So there's something in my cup that looks like what's up there.
And so that I have the underline. That's going to be, it says the clearer and straighter the line, the more rewarding the trip will be. If I hold it up, it might fall off. But see the Aries, and there's a twig under it, like a line. I don't know if you see.
Really interesting comment here. Oh yeah, look. The comment is smoke in the air, new speaker, Pope reference.
Do they mean new speaker or new Pope?
No. Well, actually, I think they were saying new, like, as happens with the Pope, an indicator of a new speaker. But you know what? I'm going to say.
It happened way before that.
I'm going to say the fact that there is so much junk in the bottom of my cup isn't merely that I haven't done this very much, but also because there is going to be so much kind of like in the subterranean and in the basement and in just dirt that we'll be dealing with in the initial phase, because Pluto's going to be in Aquarius until September 1st. And then it goes back to the very last degree of Capricorn until November 18 for some final cleanup. So my cup says we're not done with a bunch of this stuff here.
Sweeping up the dirt. Sweeping them all up into a dustpan and dumping them out.
Let's see what else.
Well, I have a boat. I have like a sailboat.
Ooh.
Right there. See the sailboat?
Uh-huh.
Cruising along. So boats obviously mean movement, but fluid movement. It looks like it's cranking right along there. So that is at the bottom of the cup. So that's kind of like cruising. You know what I mean? Like we'll be cruising, and that's coming up in the future. And somebody just posted a second ago, I did see it, that was it the stock market today? There's some really good news about the economy and the stock market.
Gee. And the obliteration of Mercury communication planet in my cup says still not going to be communicated to people.
The good news.
News will be obliterated. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, we're going to work on that. I'll save the rest of it for tonight, for PNN tonight at 7, so in an hour and a half. I went to visit my folks because we're kind of looking after my folks. They're getting up there, and they always have the TV on. The TV was on CNN, and I'm watching them talk just really briefly. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I have tonight for that. Somebody from CNN at the border talking about the migrants getting arrested, and that's the only story. They're not telling the rest of the story, that the fascist Republicans are blocking all the help, all the aid, all the they won't vote.
Well, A, they're blocking the aid, and B, Texas is blocking federal agents from the border, which is
right. So
the federal government's business.
So we know what's going on, but what you just mentioned made me hesitantly talk about it.
Yeah.
What you mentioned, where we're not going to hear the news, there's going to be so much going on, but we won't really be hearing it on the news so much, not in the mainstream news, but we're doing our homework. That's an example of that. They're not telling the general population the story. They're just talking about a crisis at the border, but they're not telling us the whole story. So I think that that's got something to do with that.
I just identified another image is either a dragon or a seahorse. Does that mean anything to you? And it's to the right and above Jupiter.
A dragon is luck. And we're in the year of the dragon.
And yes, and Jupiter is also luck.
Big, so, and dragons represent, we're in the year of the wood dragon, and that's got to do with abundance and prosperity galore.
And Aquafina, who is a dragon, is the grand marshal of one of the Chinese New Year parades. I wonder if it's New York's or maybe it's LA's. I don't know, but at any rate, so dragon people, step up.
Is Aquafina a dragon?
Yep, Aquafina was born in the year of the dragon. Mm-hmm.
I have to look that up. This is so educational. So I don't want to keep you for too long, but is there anything else that you want to mention that you see?
I just keep seeing iterate. Oh, there's a butterfly.
I see
a butterfly next to a
butterflies.
sun. I like that.
Yeah, and I see butterflies. I see a beautiful kind of a butterfly in Mars. I think we're going to see some good movement forward. There's Mars. It's hard to see, but good movement forward in terms of the, I hate to say war, and there's nothing good about war, but I do see progress there. I mean, if you think about it, democracy wins, right? Democracy wins the wars, and we're a better world, right? And the boat means positive movement, and that's coming up. And I think this Aquarian energy, this Pluto in Aquarius, is actually going to be breaking up a lot of stuff so that the good stuff can come in.
It's a real distribution of redistribution of power.
Yeah. That's what I really sense so strongly today. And I want to just read to you what the boat is, because the boat was really, really kind of standing out for me. Did you say you saw another animal too?
Besides the dragon? No, not yet. No. Oh, butterfly, dragon and butterfly. That's it.
I'm gonna read to you about butterfly and the tea leaves. An ancient symbol of the soul, butterflies denote pleasure and passing joys. Occasionally, they are warning against fickle actions. Usually, though, they suggest delightful experiences and are considered lucky. We like that. I mean, I kind of get the sense that as long as we're looking at things in the right way, like things get worse before they get better. Like that kind of.
Well, also think that a butterfly goes through terrific transformation before it's a butterfly. It goes through several levels of it, and one level pretty much dissolves what it is.
Right. That's why I have a butterfly on my arm, because of what it represents. There, as far as the boat, it says some fortune tellers suggest visitors, others romance or financial luck. It's safe to say that life is about to take a turn for the better. Well, there you go. Do we have a troll? Oh, we have a troll. When we attract trolls, we know we're doing the right thing. All right. Well, we have people here. We should probably tell them what we're up to and when we're having our next show. Our astrology. Thank you guys for showing up. Yeah, for our pop-up.
Oh, Darren just put a whole bunch of butterflies in the chat. Thank you, Darren.
Oh, blue ones. And thanks for the troll slaying. I'm always curious to know what they were saying.
I'll tell you later.
Oh, you saw it? Was it bad?
No. It wasn't the usual.
Okay, well, that's good. I think that's good.
Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm looking over. Few things that I have going on. My website is empowermentunlimited.net. I have forecasts for every week, every new moon, full moon, every month. The Leo full moon forecast is already up. February will be up on Monday. And again, it's really long because it's basically an orientation guide for Pluto in Aquarius. I also, we're still offering the Write Your 2024 Story program and workbook that I did with Donna Woodwell. And if you go to my site, scroll down, there are 3 orange bars with special links. It's the second orange bar on that.
All right. On your
That's
website.
it.
Yeah, on your website.
On my website, empowermentunlimited.net. Yep.
And our next show where we do political astrology is going to be on the 30th, right?
Yep,
At
on the 30th.
4 p.m. Eastern time, and I'll remind everybody. And real quick, I'm back on at 7 p.m. for the PNN Friday Night Live. So come back because we check the news and we read on the news if anybody's new here. Also tomorrow, did you know I'm doing a show with Catherine Glass's husband?
Yes.
Yeah, so tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time, I'll be live streaming a show. It's going to be for an hour with Jonathan Glass, the owner and founder, and with his wife. I think they're, co-owners of Healing Essence in Concord, Massachusetts, right here in Mass. And we're going to be talking about, he's got like a lifetime's worth of experience being a healer, and he'll tell you more about that. But the focus is going to be on how to stay healthy. And if we're out there amongst people, I actually opted out of a show that someone had an extra ticket for, and I walked in, and there were so many people that I was like, I think this is like Virus Fest. I'm sorry, I'm opting out. And the reason that I'm saying that is because I've gotten guidance that this winter is going to be like so many different viruses, people won't even know what's going on. So
yeah, there's
tomorrow,
some vicious stuff out there. Be careful, people.
yeah, wear your mask. Act as if we're in a pandemic. That's straight from my guides. Wear a mask. And keep that immune system strong. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. PsychicAnnetteDion.com is where you find out what I'm up to. And I'm also offering winter doldrums readings where I read into your energy and I let you know what the guidance is of how you personally can get your energy up. It's not a medical thing. It's just like energetic read. And you can kind of write down, okay, this would work for my energy. And, just really personalized. PsychicAnnetteDion.com. And that's it for our pop-up show. And thanks for coming. See you tonight. Keep reading. Bye.